Welcome to Pot of Thunder. It's the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting, brought to you by Blue Microphones. They look great. They sound even better. And guess who it is?
Here's my buddy Andy.
Oh, that's right. It's your buddy Andy. It's America's little brother. And as always, I'm joined by the one, the only. Oh, there he is.
Bam! Bam!
There's Gnarly Nick, the Garlic Dragon. A double tap of Big Nick energy from the Peter Pan of podcasting. Gnarly Nick is in the house. I see foil, but we'll save that because you're wondering, is he here? Is he here? Nick, did you check the roof? Is it on tight?
Yep.
He's here. He's here. You want him. We got him. There he is. He's right there on the couch.
I think we need a gunslinger, somebody tough to tame this town. I think we need a gunslinger. There'll be justice all around.
Succumb to my power, my age, and my weight. In that order.
Oh.
You like that, huh?
Yes.
Fogarty is still not fully committed to needing a gunslinger. He still thinks he needs a gunslinger.
That's
I don't
true.
know what is he what is he still undecided about?
It's like he raised his hand at a town hall meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
After all these this news of these vandals,
I think
maybe it's time.
The second his hand went up, he wishes he had never put it up.
Instant
that's,
regret.
That's almost last resort kind of a thing.
What do you guys think? Maybe we need a gunslinger?
I mean, it's either that or everybody leaves.
That's the subject of tonight's town hall meeting. Do we need a gunslinger? Somebody tough to tame this town.
Yeah. You know, around here, the hot news is that anybody with Trump yard signs are being stolen. I keep hearing about it.
Oh.
So we need a gunslinger in this town.
Okay,
apparently.
here's another thing. I don't care which side of the fence you're on. If you're putting up fucking signs for politicians, you have completely lost the plot of what it means to be a citizen of this planet. They don't give a fuck about you. Who gets excited and rallies around a politician to the point where you put a fucking sign in your yard? Who cares who you're voting for or who you support? Nobody cares. And the person who cares about you the least is the motherfucker whose name is on that sign.
That's probably
I don't give a goddamn about you.
sadly true.
I
unless
usually drive by and go, yes! Exclamation.
Yeah, exactly. I stop my car, I march up to the house, and I shake that guy's hand. You're voting for Mervyn? Awesome.
Is that an original Mervyn sign?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the grandpa?
I want to shake your hand for making a political statement and being excited about politicians. What a waste of time. What should you do instead? Take a shit instead of putting up a political sign in your yard. Get out of here with that. Ridiculous
people
stuff.
are excited.
No, they're not excited.
People are whipped up into a...
There's a frenzy.
There's a frenzy. There's a desperation.
I literally don't. I do not understand. I've never understood it. It's like, okay, yeah, we got to vote for people, and these people supposedly represent us and make our laws and stuff. But you're actually excited about these people? That you're going to shout from the rooftops that you're supporting these people? I don't. I can't relate to that.
Go
Even
take
in
a shit.
Yes, that's better than going to the effort of putting up a sign in your yard. Unbelievable. I just don't get it.
You probably have to get the sign somewhere, I'm guessing. That's probably more effort than anything. So if you go online...
You have to pay for a sign?
I have no idea.
Oh, if you're paying for that privilege...
They don't send it to you, do they?
Look,
for free?
They have
it's
to.
bad enough you're just putting it up, but if you actually paid money for the privilege of doing that, again, just jump off a bridge.
What a mark.
Fling yourself in the path of a moving car. Just end it. You've completely lost the plot. Get out.
Get out.
You know what I think we need?
What do we need, Nick?
I think we need dessert.
Oh, good. That's probably the best idea. People always say you guys don't eat enough on the show. That's what you have to do more. So I think this will turn things around here.
Even if that were true, we would still try to up our eating game.
Mm-hmm. So it's dark in here today.
What is this surgical?
Nick's got a cookie scoop.
Wow.
That you squeeze and the little...
I quit screwing around a long time ago.
I don't even know what that thing is, but it's the thing that
news
detaches.
to us.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on over there, but I see Nick's
It
scoop.
looks like some sort of surgical implement.
First, I'm gonna. Well, you guys got to close your eyes, though,
Yeah,
and
okay.
we got to bring out the old Halloween feel box.
Oh boy!
So I want you guys to get in there, swirl around.
All right.
Should
we do that now?
Yeah, get the fingers
All right.
in. Let's see what kind of. Let's see what it sounds like.
Here we go. All right, I'm coming over. Oh. Wait a minute.
It's a little chilly.
It is cold. Wait a minute. Are you telling me that perhaps this week's treat may not be baked?
It's not baked.
It's not baked.
It was heated up though.
Going off script already.
It was heated up. If that counts. Just not
There's
not in the oven.
There was a heating element that took place,
Yeah.
and now it's
So whatever, man.
Turns out Nick is in fact still fooling around, mixing up the rules.
Look
and
at
all
this.
that
Like
stuff.
He just opened a Tupperware.
Like I care at all.
He cares not.
It looks brown. Is it brown or is it red? It's
brown.
Me, Oho's not so good. It's brown.
Scoops going.
Look at that. So Nick made ice cream, ladies
I
and
made
gentlemen,
ice cream. I bought an ice cream maker.
specifically for Pot of Thunder.
Just
With your earnings.
I bought an ice cream maker last week.
Okay.
Wait, now he's sprinkling something on top of it.
So it's chocolate ice cream with salted toffee caramel sauce mixed in,
Jesus.
and some toasted pecans.
Look at you. What a wild
I
man.
I care not.
Here, I'm handing this one over to Andy.
All right, well, here we
The
go.
right thing to do.
Thank you.
Time for a baked treat. Baked treat.
Yeah, we can't deprive the listeners of that.
No.
It's become a new favorite.
It's the look it up of this generation.
A new favorite.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wonderful,
right.
wonderful food.
So-
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
Who's the manufacturer of this ice cream maker? You remember?
It's a name brand. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. I'll look it up. But
Well, we'll figure it out.
no, it's Cuisinart.
Ooh, high-end stuff.
Please
Nick's
don't.
not screwing around.
Told you.
This is no Bella from the basement of Macy's for $9.99.
No, this
Yeah,
is
this isn't an Emerson ice cream maker.
No, it's not.
this is not
Westinghouse. Another shit brand.
We have a Westinghouse commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Tripping the bots.
Yep. Shit brand.
That's their new tagline. Another shit brand.
You know, at this point, why not? Just tell the truth. That's how it is. This is very good, Nick.
Yeah, I've been very happy with it.
So, you know, since you made such a good treat, I'm going to make an unprecedented move here, and I'm going to pass my turn this week to you.
Really?
Really?
Yep, I'm going to pass to you. We're still in the theme of Halloween, spooky, scary, creepy, weird, what have you. After our brief pause last week with Van Halen, but they were still in the theme. So
Yeah, it worked.
we're
I
still,
thought so.
yeah.
So do you need more time? Is that what's going on?
You know, I just think that you deserve something for all your effort. I'm just going to give you my turn,
All right.
or just trade turns with you. Give you immediate gratification for this baked treat, quote unquote baked treat, frozen treat. So I don't know if this is something that's on the list. I don't know what you have in mind for your selection this week.
Okay, well, I knew going into the month what I was going to pick.
Okay.
Wasn't second guessing it at all. Just I knew it. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
It is on the list.
Okay.
It's been on the list for probably almost a couple of years now. And just has not come up. So
Okay. I'm going to pull up that list.
Is it on the list once or multiple times?
just once.
Just once.
So that means the person who submitted it is getting a prize.
That's right.
And
Which we will reveal when we get into November.
Okay.
So that everyone's eligible.
Okay.
But this is like our soft launch of the prizes.
Yeah. Our exclusive item that only is sent to those whose songs we select off of our listener submission list, which can be filled out on potofthunder.com. Do it now.
And
Right now.
And before I go into it, I'm not going to say too much about it. Well, I'll say a little bit. There are musicians on this recording. That's a good good start. Okay. Who are making their second appearance in this monthly series.
Okay.
Not this year necessarily, but last year. There are some musicians. I will read them off, and then you can hit the intro music.
You're going to read the musicians' names?
Yeah.
Okay.
So on this recording, we get Alan Schwartzberg.
Oh, boy. He's been on several times.
Tony Levin. Steve Hunter.
Okay.
Robert Fripp. And that's all I'm gonna say.
We've heard these names.
And Bob Ezrin is also involved.
Okay.
So I'm ready whenever you are.
All right, well, it's time to turn the microphone over to Chris Jericho.
All right, Hamill. This one's called
Moribund the Burgermeister.
Off of
Car.
by the band.
Peter Gabriel.
Ow!
I brought the vinyl for reference.
What was that name again?
Moribund the Burgermeister.
Moribund is
Yes.
a name of someone.
Yes.
What is
I think it means dead, ultimately.
Okay.
Just a word that means dead.
And what is a Burgermeister?
Isn't that like an old-timey German mayor of a town? Have you ever seen the old, was it Santa Claus is Coming to Town, or one of those old Rankin Bass Christmas?
I turn all of them off except for Rudolph.
Okay, well,
They're all shit except for Rudolph.
There's an evil Burgermeister in one of them.
See, I used to work at Shoop's, and I told people I was a Burgermeister when I was working there. Shoop's Hamburgers and Whiting.
You probably did.
Yeah, I was a pretty rad dude working there as a dishwasher.
Wish they would have cleaned out their shake machine.
Yeah, they didn't do that. They had little brown bits in it all the
Yeah,
time.
I'm like, hey, did you give me the girl Andy worked with? I was like, did you give me like a was it a Blizzard Flurry something? She's like, no, it's just plain ice cream. I'm like, well, there's crunchy bits in it.
There's shit floating in the shake machine.
Is that residue from the Brontosaurus burgers they served over there? All right, so I gotta admit I like the lineup of musicians. Not super excited. I've never really grokked Peter Gabriel at all.
Are you familiar with this song at all?
I've heard the title. I'm probably pretty confident I've never heard it. I suppose it's possible you could start playing and I'll be like, oh, okay, that's what that is. But to my knowledge, I've never heard this, nor would I willingly listen to anything by Peter Gabriel. Just the voice is not pleasing to me.
Peter Gabriel's one of those guys where I think audiophiles love Peter Gabriel. That's their dude. One of their all-time dudes.
That's true.
Peter Gabriel. That's something I.
And why is that?
Is
a
it
lot
just
of experimental engineering stuff. Like if you ever listen to it, Not that it's not that I'm saying this is a. I mean, it's a great pop song. Whatever. It's actually the song that follows this one on the album, Salisbury Hill. If you listen to it,
I hate that one.
But if you listen to it though, it is interesting. There's some production stuff going on audibly,
especially when he goes the boom 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 part. It's like just stop right now. That's another one where whoever's in the studio and he sings that in the vocal booth, you stop everything, you cut it off, and that's when you wait for the guy. He realizes there's silence, so he'll look to the engineering booth, and that's when you click on the studio mic and say, boom, 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 don't do that ever again. Ever.
The same
It's
as
not appearing on this record.
Just like the David Coverdale hobo line. Same treatment.
That's worse. The Salisbury Hill, first of all, stupid title. Out of here.
These British guys with talking about specific places.
Yeah, they love that.
They do love that.
God, that song's the fucking worst. This song is right before it.
This is the first song on his first solo record.
And another one. How many albums did he just name after himself? Four
in a row.
What a jackass.
He did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The
first
four
are just called Peter Gabriel.
I did not know
what
that.
A dick. That's a dick move right there. It's like, who the fuck do you
kind of
think
like
you
that.
are? Well, that makes sense too. But
well, I mean,
what a jerk.
Yeah.
So who was? You want to? Is there
quickly? One thing I wanted to say. You mentioned. I didn't know you'd mentioned Salisbury Hill today. It's funny you bring that up. I have a friend who used to do a magic trick to that song.
Oh, great!
Now, here's the thing. That was a recurring joke that I said a few times early on when we started doing these random songs. No matter what song was said, I said, I have a friend who did a magic trick to that song. But the one song it was true about was Salisbury Hill. So there you go.
Could you imagine an amateur magic show with that song playing in the background?
Boy.
That's people slow dancing to Proud to Be an American.
Yes. Yes. One time I was with said friend at a Buffalo Wild Wings, and Salisbury Hill came on, and he goes, "Oh man, I used to do a magic trick to this song." And I was like, "What?"
Oh no!
I never forgot that. I used to do a magic trick.
And
to
plus,
this song.
the guy in question,
yeah,
maybe one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. So I would lose it if I saw this happen.
Yeah, like a straight face magic trick.
Yeah, because even if he's straight faced, I would be laughing.
Yeah.
So what a juxtaposition of crap. Doing magic to Salisbury Hill. I mean, oh, Jesus.
I'm going to see if I can get him to do a video and send it to us.
That's a soul.
Do this right now.
That's
so
a Solvask level of contempt for the audience. Mixing those two things. It's like, are you trying to get your ass kicked? Are you trying to get killed? Because you're heading down the right path if that's what you're looking to do. So if you're looking to get bum rushed and beaten on stage, do a magic trick to Salisbury Hill.
All right, message sent.
Okay, should be hearing from him soon.
Jesus, please tell me this is objectively speaking is better.
It's nothing like Salisbury Hill.
Thank God for that. Oh, that's terrible.
This album, I would say, front to back, is really, really good.
Yeah,
yeah, really good.
He's a Peter Gabriel guy.
Okay, wait a minute. Though.
Sort of.
Say that again. Repeat that comment.
This whole album, front to back, ultimately is really, really good.
It's impossible because Salisbury Hill is on it.
That's an impossible statement. That's the pop single, whatever.
It's a shit song.
There's a lot, but it's really like it's a
boom, boom, boom. Get the fuck out of here! Who does that with a straight face? So bad.
Everybody knows that song. I recommend the rest of the album. It's really good. Bob Ezrin, I think.
Yes,
he does. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I know he co-produced it.
I did not know that they ever worked together.
That was, I think, the only one that they did.
Semi-interesting.
And it's. I think it's really, really good. Probably because the two of them working together.
I got a response already.
Something nice.
Response
really from the magic trick guy?
Yes. Says, I bet I can recall my routine.
Oh yeah, great. Boy.
Somebody's got about 70 minutes.
Boy, his presence on the planet is just validated. Jesus.
All right. I can't wait to get this video.
You know what, man?
I'm so excited.
You can't make this shit up.
No.
Somebody who did a magic trick to Salisbury Hill. Oh, man.
Says,
I wonder where he used to do magic tricks.
He says, I'm going to listen to it real quick and see what comes to mind.
You do that. Yeah.
Improvise.
You can tell that he's creatively inspired. Who is this ridiculous individual? Don't tell me. I won't know.
No.
I don't want to know.
So anyway, back to the list.
It's not Haddad, is
yes,
it?
Yes, it is.
Of course it's Haddad.
Okay. Now it makes sense. Now it makes complete, total sense.
All right, so this came to us from Gavin W.A. We know Gavin.
Yeah, we do.
Getting a
Gavin.
an item.
What? Beep.
Getting
timestamp that.
We can give a little hints as we approach. Of course, that's not a little hint. You pretty much said it.
You could take it out if you want.
Well, no, but we haven't revealed what's on the which is the
fine.
selling
I forgot we hadn't said it.
That's fine. That's fine.
My brain is cold right now.
That's okay. Let me tell you what Gavin had to say. Produced by none other than Bob Ezrin, a year after he did Destroyer, Alan Schwartzberg played drums on this tune as well. You may know him from playing drums for Kiss on I from The Elder. So there you go. Exciting.
And just a little background now. Peter Gabriel tends, or at least at this point in time, like with the Genesis songwriting and into this, it's like every song had almost like a Rush song where there was I'm almost thinking like Red Barchetta, where it's like maybe doesn't need to be in the future about a car and driving is outlawed, but it's all there anyway. So this song it's got storyline behind it, and ultimately it's about the medieval disease called St. Vitus dance.
What is that?
It's where
that
people
like
uncontrollably were kind of like just their bodies would start jerking back and forth, and it was kind of like an uncontrollable. And apparently,
they suddenly started doing magic tricks to Salisbury Hill
after eating Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
So that's the background on what the song is about.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh man!
But I will say, I picked the song. I'm a very big fan of it.
Yeah, obviously.
I am.
So
I'm not a fan of everything I've ever heard from Peter Gabriel. He does a lot
certainly hope not.
He does a lot of like.
Why, Chris? What's a bad one?
Well, there's a lot of.
What's a bad one?
There's a lot of really like atmospheric, which is that's fine, that's cool, but I'm not going to sit and listen to that. Really, I want like the songs, So
yeah, Nick is a fan of melody.
I am. That's what I'm looking for.
He needs that from his music in order to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Peter Gabriel.
He does a lot of world music.
He does world. I was going to say. That's
another.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Chris on this one.
That's an 80s pop stars,
especially British,
hopping around with African musicians. It's like, yeah, that's great. Good for you.
There's a video I've seen that I think Chris would pass out if he laid eyes on this video.
Oh, no. Is it the In Your Eyes?
It's a live performance of Salisbury Hill.
Oh no, I would never.
Performed in the round. He had the headset microphone on, and he's riding a bicycle around the outer perimeter of the stage while he's singing.
Why could there?
Don't worry, we will post it.
Why couldn't there have been someone in the crowd with a rifle when that's going on?
A rifle? I thought you were going to say like a stick to put in the spokes, all the way up to a rifle.
No, the stick and the spokes is not going to be enough for that. That is.
A banana peel. I don't know.
Oh, that's just terrible. That sucks. Sorry, that's and I assume it's an arena full of people like who are into it.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm sure. I don't know how big.
Again, that's the equivalent of putting up a political sign in your yard. You're actually excited about this? You think this is good? I cannot relate to that mindset, even in the slightest.
What about just for the fact that it's strange? Does that do anything for you?
No, nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of strange. If you go back to the Genesis days, well into his solo stuff, a lot of just odd. There's a live performance of this song where it's like he, for some reason, I guess it makes sense with the song. He's very just acting strange.
See, this is another one. Remember when the Slade episode, and I talked about how I bought that book of rock photography at the local head shop, and I flipped through it, and I saw Noddy Holder and Slade, and I was like, I hate this guy. Same thing with Peter Gabriel. There was Gabriel era Genesis photos and him in the fucking flower costume.
Yeah.
I took one look at it and I'm like, I hate this guy. So that just
hate him.
That influences my taste, but by the same token, you know, the tone of his voice and just again the going down the road of world music and the whole fucking So album was omnipresent when I was in college. It's just like I no thank you Peter Gabriel.
When I was a kid, I was my first exposure to a lot of these guys who had careers in the 60s and 70s was their sort of reinvented personas on MTV. Like, I didn't know who George Harrison was until I saw the dancing clock or singing clock video or whatever. That got my mind set on you. Yeah, there were a lot of guys like that because I was just a kid, so I didn't know. And then Peter Gabriel, I was like, Sledgehammer. Okay, that's an interesting video, big time interesting video.
Yeah,
I was a fan of that when I was a kid. Still like those songs.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I found the album. It was hard because they're all called Peter Gabriel.
Right, exactly. But it's like, oh, you're so clever, you fucking narcissist.
But they actually labeled them. It's Peter Gabriel 1: car.
Right, because people don't want to fucking have to. First of all, nobody should be seeking out Peter Gabriel music to begin with. Okay, but if they are, it's like, you know, I'm not. I don't want to play your fucking narcissistic game. I want to know which album I'm going to, the songs I want to hear. I don't care about your fucking name every album after yourself. Just get out of here. This guy sucks, man.
Well, so this is,
but I believe it or not, I'm going to give it my best effort to come into this with an open mind.
Well, and
thank God it's not the song that follows this. I would probably walk out.
Well, and I think
I really don't have it in me tonight to listen to that.
And the list of musicians is interesting.
Well, sure, absolutely, yeah.
Plays into Chris's. There's a connection to Chris's King Crimson song from last year.
Now, is that? Forgive me if you addressed this already. You short-circuited my brain with some of the magic tricks talk or whatever, but is that the connection to the theme? It's just weird and like
it's weird. I thought
it's not scary or anything.
No, I mean it's got. I think musically it has some eerie elements, some stuff that sounds kind of like. Well, we'll get more into the specifics, but stuff that I think works with the theme.
Now, is this a long song?
It's not terribly long.
4 minutes 20 seconds.
Shorter than Me Wise Magic by a considerable margin.
Yeah.
So I figured also because it's Saint Vitus dance. Figured it plays into the whole Hallows Eve thing. So.
Yeah, that's true.
There's that connection as well.
It's like a thriller dance or something too, right? Like just twitching uncontrollably.
There is a medical.
Walking the streets.
They did address a medical term for it, but I don't remember what it is. Yeah. I'm sure I could look it up, but I don't want to.
Well, that's right. It's 1977, so this is his first solo album after leaving Genesis. Is that right, or is he still in Genesis?
No, he left.
I didn't know if it was one of those I'm doing a solo album and staying in the band.
No, this was I don't know. I don't think it was the exact same year, but I think it was kind of a heaven and hell, Blizzard of Oz kind of a situation where, they split. Albums came out from the two respective camps.
Okay.
I don't know how close in proximity, but I think it was Trick of the Tail maybe was the Genesis album that came out near this one.
Okay. All right. Well, are you guys ready to get into this?
Yeah, man.
Oh, my friend says, I have a demo tape somewhere on VHS.
Of course,
a demo
you
reel
do.
on IMDb. I
How,
hope.
yeah, how have you not uploaded that to YouTube and become a viral superstar?
He would be. Give me a week, you'll be amazed, he says. So there we go. Hopefully it's less than a week, but something to wait for then.
Yeah, exactly. Now I have something to live for the next week. Before I walked into this room tonight, I didn't have that. Now I have it.
Just wait till the next, if there is a debate, the candidates will walk out to Salisbury Hill, shake hands. The opening act will be Mr. Haddad.
Yeah, great.
Magic show.
Magic. People. We're almost 8 years into this show.
Yeah.
People do not understand what it's like to come in here every week and get bum rushed with this kind of information, and it's not made up. It's all true. This happens in their worlds. It's incredible. I'll say it again. No other show is capable of this type of discussion simply because this shit doesn't happen to anybody else. If it's even approaching this, people are making it up because you cannot even conceptualize this type of thing.
I honestly really hope we'll have a video to post later in the week after this comes out.
Yeah,
I believe he would do it.
Of course he would do it.
If he really has one from whatever it would be, 1992 or something, that would be a gold mine. That's what I'm hoping for. A child doing magic to that song.
An original footage of him doing it, not a reboot.
Time stamped in the lower right hand corner.
He was using to get gigs.
Yeah. I submitted it to Star Search or something like
exactly. Okay.
Oh,
all right, take a deep breath. Let's clear the palate. That was delicious ice cream.
Open mind.
Yep. All right, let's have a quick commercial that'll clear our minds.
Roll the Westinghouse commercial.
Another shit brand. Here we go.
Yeah, just to trip off the bots. Westinghouse. There you have it.
So he's known for his, experimental kind of stuff, and this is, all very electronic sounding, especially for 1977.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
unique, and it's got. I wouldn't say a world music vibe yet, but you can see with the sort of percussive properties that we're hearing already that someone might get into the world music stuff later because I guess it's very percussion based. Mm-hmm. So.
So I'm following the lyrics so far. People are in the market square twisting and staring off. Did you say a distant gaze?
Yeah, the eyes are rolling round and round into a distant gaze.
on the couch, on the right side of the couch. The eyes are rolling.
So
what? He's just a bunch of people in public are succumbing to Saint Vitus dance. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, and he's witnessing it.
Great. And so you write a song about it? How about calling an ambulance or something?
Well, I think I want to say it's probably...
And where does this happen, that there's a mass sudden outbreak of St. Vitus dance?
Well, maybe this is the phone call to the emergency service. He's explaining what's going on.
He's at the call box.
Good. We all know how receptive to this sort of thing the 911 operators are. Sir, can you be more specific? Well, sir, where are you exactly?
He's being pretty specific.
Right, but that's never enough for them. It's like, there's somebody bleeding in the street. Can you describe the bleeding?
Yeah.
No, it's just they're bleeding profusely. How profusely would you say they're bleeding? Just get somebody the fuck over here.
Sir, do you know what
what's with the
profuse
interrogation that people get on the 911 calls?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah,
right?
it's
like just quit with the fucking 10 questions and get a goddamn cop or an ambulance over here.
Yeah. Stressful when you hear those phone calls. You feel so bad for the person.
Well, exactly.
It's like, why are you still talking instead of helping?
Right.
What came out of the mud? I should probably look at the lyrics here.
Let's see. Some are jumping up in the air saying we're drowning in a torrent of blood.
Oh.
Others going down on their knees, seen a savior coming out of the mud.
Okay.
So apparently they're hallucinating as well.
Yikes.
It's a disaster.
Okay.
It's like a flash mob gone wrong in the street, you know.
Remember when that was the hot trend?
I mean, I heard. I never witnessed
No,
one.
me neither.
I saw one once.
Really?
Yeah.
What did they do?
They're just dancing.
Well, they were doing magic tricks to Salisbury
Half of them
Hill.
were singing Salisbury Hill. The other half were
doing magic.
All different tricks at the same time.
Exactly.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
All right.
Coordinated handkerchiefs coming out of the ears, that sort of thing. Just magic.
Just putting giant metal rings around everything to prove there are no strings.
Exactly.
Just in every direction. No strings anywhere.
Did you ever get into magic, Chris?
No. Does it sound like I ever got into magic?
Maybe.
Or you
as
might,
a kid, I don't know.
might have been scorned by magic.
Yeah.
You never know.
Scorned by magic.
Scorned by
happen.
the local magic scene. Yeah. Maybe you submitted a trick and they were like, thanks for us.
Well, if that happened, I blocked it out because I have no recollection of it.
Local magic scene.
Yeah, other people were getting yes! Exclamation point.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice! Exclamation point.
Yeah, thanks for the attempt.
Thanks.
Get out.
Not even,
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Have you ever gone to a magic show?
I mean, I watched some on TV.
Yeah,
I've never paid for a ticket to a magic show.
I went to a David Copperfield televised one time.
How was
You
it?
went to it?
Yeah.
And it was televised.
They
live?
later televised it.
What was the venue?
The Star Plaza.
All right.
And I was in Cub Scouts, and we all went. And it was the one, I think, where he went over Niagara Falls. That was like the big finale.
Like Klaus Meine.
A tambourine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little speechless at the moment. This is a bit much for me to process tonight. I'm hanging in there. I'm soldiering through.
I saw David Copperfield with the guy who did the magic trick to the Peter Gabriel song.
Really?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Wow.
Let me guess. He was riveted to the action on the stage.
He couldn't get enough. I think it was like his 30th time seeing him.
Please tell me you're joking.
I'm not.
This is... You'd think after 7.5 years I'd have a thicker skin to this, but it's just every week there's a new wrinkle. You never know what's going to happen from one week to the next. It's more ridiculous with each instance.
All right, we got a ways to go here. Let's continue. Come on, you.
It's eating out my soul, destroying all another. I'm gonna lose control. What can I do to stop this plague spread by sight alone? Just a glimpse, then I quiver, then they shiver to the bone. I look at them go, with the shaft you going down, in the seat of the castle ground.
A lot of words going on there.
A lot of words.
Just basically telling a story.
Yeah.
It's very, very reminiscent of some of the Genesis songs, like the one that comes to mind immediately with this sort of thing is "Return of the Giant Hogweed," which is I think a really, really cool song.
Yeah.
Lyrically, though, if you're reading along with it, it's like, okay, that's what he says. I don't know. Just a weird story that he's telling. Yeah.
Hogweed. Giant hogweed.
Yeah.
I looked up hogweed. Sounds terrifying.
What is a hogweed?
It's a horrible poisonous plant.
Okay.
That apparently returns on occasion.
Apparently it gets giant.
They exterminate it and it comes back. They whack it down with a weed whacker. It comes back.
Not good enough.
Not good enough, no.
So we're hearing a lot of effects, a lot of different voices.
That's what I was going to say.
That. Very theatrical.
Where to begin? I was going to say, it seems like this music is less about what they're playing and more about which keyboard effects are used and the way things are panned and faded to give that, like you said, atmospheric earlier. Mm-hmm. But it seems like those are the tools. Those tools are used as much as the chords of the composition, if that makes sense.
No, I would agree. That's what I hear also. I like that little... It's got like... that dun, 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 that sort of break in between the lines of the chorus. Mm-hmm. I think that fits for this month particularly, because to me that sounds like something from like you'd hear, the old Phantom of the Opera playing on an organ or something like that.
Yeah.
So that also played into my decision to have it be this song for this month.
Yeah. This had to be a real pain in the ass to engineer and produce.
I believe I read somewhere that it was recorded 2 different places.
Mm-hmm. So the first place they quit, they shut down.
Well, I think Peter Gabriel he served as producer on the quieter stuff, and then Bob Ezrin, like when it got into the heavier stuff, I guess they kind of had a give and take there as far as production.
Who was even on the same song?
I think so.
Interesting.
At least I remember reading something similar to that. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. I like that part.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's weird.
Yeah. That's my favorite part of the song so far.
the weird squeaky sounds.
Yeah, that's cool. What is he talking about, Nick?
Yeah,
he will find out.
At this point, he is. I don't know why. I don't know if he was appointed or what, but he's going to try to figure out what's happening. What is going on?
So the Burgermeister is speaking from first person here, possibly.
I think so. I'm guessing he's the Burgermeister. Yeah.
So
he's running the town, and he's like, "What?"
Almost as if he's a gunslinger, if you will.
A bit.
This is the. I think we need.
I think we need a Burgermeister. I don't know. This is a rough listen for me. His voice just kills me. It is so displeasing to me. Wow. I can't even describe it. It always has been.
Well, I know
I can't understand how he ever became popular with that tone of voice. It's not pleasing.
I know that there are, it's you hear that people will say about Geddy Lee in particular, people like that.
But this is different to me. Look, there's a lot of things that people consume that on paper look similar, but they can take one and can't tolerate the other. This is an example of that. Just it's not. It has nothing to do with the relatively high pitch. There's just something. The unique sound of his voice is just utterly displeasing to me, as always has been.
It's an interesting thing though, because you can tell he's someone who has complete control over pitch.
Yeah,
but the tone is what. Yeah, did you say the tone bothers you, or the?
I don't know. I can't even ascertain whether he's on pitch at all. It's just the whole, whatever the frequency is of his voice is just completely my body rejects it.
Yeah, I get that.
Period. Always has.
I feel that way about a lot of singers, but I'm just giving him a point where a point is due because he needs one from America's Little Brother. I'm sure Peter Gabriel's anxiously awaiting.
I'll take your word for it. I can't ascertain whether that's happening just because of the tone of the voice just renders all of my senses, just completely shuts down, and I don't want to listen to it anymore.
Yeah, I get that.
But I'll do it. I'll take one for the team.
Do you want to jump ahead to track 2?
I do not. Absolutely not. No.
Actually
as bad as much as I don't like this, it's infinitely better than the crap that's coming next. Terrible.
Unprecedented.
Terrible. Move. And just, people getting into Salisbury Hill, like like inspiring them and giving them pleasure. It's so foreign to me. I just don't get it.
I will find out. This thing's outrageous. I tell you all alone. It's real, it's so contagious. It's the work of the devil. You want me to go now? Pick up the pipers and tell them to play.
I will say this. If you had no idea what was going on, even today, if a bunch of people were twitching uncontrollably in the town square or whatever he said,
pretty terrifying.
That would freak you out.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, they'd be beaten with clubs and dragged off because that's how we treat people who have legitimate mental illnesses these days.
These days?
Well,
I'm just talking about back then.
Well, things haven't changed. People would be so freaked out by them and the way the cops deal with people nowadays. They just start clubbing them down with nightsticks and dragging them off. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I guess you're right. I don't know. I've seen videos.
I don't know.
I just don't know about when there's a mental illness, people are getting clubbed down like that.
If there was 50, how many people do you think he's talking about here? About 50 people?
Could be.
All suffering
20
from the
to
same
50,
thing?
perhaps.
Range of
the way everybody is on edge nowadays,
Yeah.
especially the cops.
Just run them over with the paddy wagon.
They'd run them over. They'd fire tear gas grenades into the middle of it. You know, there wouldn't be any negotiating or talking to or any of this nonsense. Oh, send a social worker in there. That's not happening.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Burgermeister's trying to find out what's going on here.
Well, we'll see how he solves this. Maybe we can learn something from this in 2020.
The music keeps them quiet. There is no other way. I close the door. We try potions and waxing laws, but none of us can find any cures.
I don't know if you just heard, that was a super high note that I'm assuming he actually hit there in the background. I don't know if you
didn't even notice that.
If you
noticed
maybe
it.
back it up a few seconds.
All right, here we go.
That's a thing I've heard people say and read about. That's like one of the hallmarks of Peter Gabriel was that when he would repeat the same part of a song, there would almost always be some additional thing going on. Like it was almost never like, okay, this is the same exact part as before, just a different lyrical.
Give him credit for that too.
Yeah, I can respect.
Yeah.
You know, it's not today's cut and paste Pro Tools. Oh, you got that chorus right? Well, then let's cut it and paste it in every chorus so it sounds exactly the same.
Yeah.
I can respect.
Yeah.
The problem is that each variation still contains the voice of Peter Gabriel. And, yeah. I mean, there's no getting around it for me. It's just, it's a chemical thing. I don't know what it is, but my body rejects his voice across the board. Can't take it.
How is he still active? I don't even know. Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess nobody's active right now, other than people are recording.
Well, everybody should be making an album right now.
Everybody should be.
If you're a major artist and you haven't made a new album ready to release for your next tour to support, then maybe you should just get out of the game.
How old is he now?
Point.
He's got to be in his 70s, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I would think so.
See, in his case, it would be preferable if he simply quit and did nothing, pandemic or otherwise. That would be the best avenue for Peter Gabriel to take. Nobody's interested anymore. Just quit. Just stop. You got plenty of money.
He had a cool concept. Maybe I don't know if it was within the last 10 years or so. He did a covers album.
Oh, jeez.
And then there was a follow up where all the artists that he covered a song of his on the second album, which is pretty cool.
Conceptually cool.
Yeah.
I was going to say
Randy Newman was on it.
Oh, no. Please tell me you're joking.
I'm not.
That. Okay, enough.
Chris is leaving.
This is just...
It did happen.
It's so bad. So bad. Nobody cares what either of those guys has to say anymore, okay? You got plenty of money. Don't give me this bullshit that you feel the need to express yourself. Just quit. Just stop. Go retire. Move along. Randy Newman. Out of here with that. Oh,
all documented, all true.
Yeah. I don't doubt it. That's the scary thing. I know it's true. I know Haddad did fucking magic tricks to Salisbury Hill. I have no reason to doubt that.
What other song you think he would have done?
He could tell you. You could check your Facebook Messenger for a photo.
Is there
a photo?
Is there a screenshot? What is
it? It's him posing in front of a David Copperfield poster at age 12.
Wow.
So,
where is this poster?
I don't know.
Is that at his house?
I have no idea. I'll find out.
Oh, that's great.
But back to what you said about...
This guy's a legend.
He is.
Yeah, okay.
What you were saying about how artists should all be busy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I know there's one take that I've heard from several that a lot of, pretty much everyone's up to something, but a lot of them are not going to release anything that's like one approach is like, we're not going to release anything if we can't tour.
Right.
That
It's the same reason why nobody's releasing any movies, really, because there's not enough people to consume it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you're seeing musicians, at least in the rock realm, keeping busy by collaborating on covers and other stuff.
Yeah.
Remotely. So you see all the different guys.
That's fun, but I would be more of the opinion that this is kind of a golden opportunity.
It's a golden opportunity to get your material together and and have it ready. But like Andy says, it's guys who are actually a success in music, they don't think the same way as we do. It's just like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter what the circumstances is. When it's ready, we're going to release it. Yeah, you don't get to that level unless you have some sort of business sense, either your own or somebody in charge of you saying, like, you're not releasing this because it's going to die on the vine. It's a complete waste of time and money.
Yeah. So get
that's
your
why
best
that's
12
happening.
songs or 10 songs.
Right.
Write as many as you can. And when this is over, we'll put it
Which
out.
the one
get to work.
And
again.
the one good thing, maybe, if you're into this concept, like most people who are older, myself, and even guys your age who are used to the whole album thing, but due to this, the entertainment industry having the plug completely pulled on it, this is a time to resurrect the album concept where you release 10 to 12 to 15 songs in one package. We talked about it before. When things were like it before, it's like, why would you bother? Just release a la carte songs.
Well, like you said, if you're a legacy act, especially,
but even
you don't need it. Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are. I mean, why would you go to that effort when the listening habits of today's listeners are, instant gratification? I just want to hear the hot song or give me your best song. Mm-hmm. But this is an opportunity for bands to woodshed and get an album together of hopefully all quality material. But, one person's filler song is the other person's awesome deep cut. So
yeah, that's true. So I've got one daughter that's almost 4. The other one a little bit more than 1. So we see a lot of Wiggles on YouTube. And I was going to say they're in the camp of Nick because during the pandemic they've put out 3 studio albums and 6 live albums.
That's what they need to. That's what people need to be doing. Like
and videos for every song. I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna throw down the gauntlet. If Kiss if they don't have a surprise album ready next year that they had been working on this whole time. Just don't finish the tour. Just say that's it.
That's the end of the road.
Just hang it up at that point. Yeah.
Go make a pasta.
Yeah.
Ride your bike.
Make a pasta.
Just be done with it.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that. As unpopular as it may be, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that mindset. It's like what does everybody say? We're musicians. Musicians make music. Well, are you doing that?
Yeah, I don't know. I have this hope that the old we'll have to do 12 more episodes of the old style Pot of Thunder shows.
No, we will if they come out with new music.
But I don't think it's gonna.
But here's the other thing. It's so hard to keep shit under wraps nowadays.
Yeah.
Either from outside your organization or within, people just can't resist tweeting or Instagramming out everything they're fucking doing.
Yeah.
I mean, the discipline it took Kiss in the 70s to keep their identities secret, multiply that by 100.
I'm sure.
That's what it'd be like to be, all this time we were recording an album. You can't keep that under wraps nowadays. If they were doing it, we would have an inkling.
It was like a year ago. They had that picture of the guys from AC/DC hanging out outside the studio,
and Brian Johnson was in the mix. Yeah, Phil Rudd was in the mix,
and and everybody knew for a year that they were making an album.
Right. So this was not right, and it was not a surprise. The only surprise about it is what I posted on Twitter is like 45 years into their career, and they're just now coming out with a song called Money Shot. How did that song title not make it into the mix in 45 years? That's the astonishing thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of were they doing another album and who was playing on it, we knew this a year ago.
Yeah, you just didn't know what it was called or when it was coming out exactly. But
there's no keeping shit.
I mean, unless you're someone like Tool or something, you know, you're probably not going to surprise anybody all that much these days.
Right. It's certainly, and
I don't know. That's just the band that came to mind, that they would do something weird that would actually be kept a secret.
Kiss couldn't keep a secret.
No, Kiss could not keep a secret.
Someone would spill it, even if the guys had every intention of keeping it a
secret. But maybe they are. Maybe they're doing it.
Well, you hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah, of
I
course.
doubt it, but I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're going to hear about it if it doesn't happen.
You're going to let them.
And they're going to hear about it if it does happen. If they put stuff out, people are going to say, this sucks. Tommy sucks.
Ace
should have been on this. Why didn't they bring in Peter for this? It's like, you can't win no matter what you do. What you're asking them to do, and that's valid, is just, you know, be creative and put something out new. But, you know, you're going to hear about it either way.
That's true.
So...
Yeah.
I mean, again, that's the world we live in now.
All right, well, back to this song. We've got, another minute and a half, so.
I close the doors, try push-ups and waxing balls, when none of us can find any cures. Mother, please, is it just a disease? As the breaking of my doors, check if you can disconnect the effect, and I'll go after the cause. No one will tell what all this is about, but I will find out.
It's like a diving board going on in there.
It is.
I don't know if you guys... I might be on the track with this. That thing that I had thought that I read where one guy produced one section, the other guy produced the other. If you listen to the edits between the louder
I was just
and
about to
softer
say,
parts,
they're very jarring.
Yeah, very sudden cuts. So,
I was going to say that kind of lends credence to that theory.
Mm-hmm.
I will find out. I will find out. Mother, you know your son. When I say I will,
They'll be sorry.
For some reason, he's talking to his mother. He's telling his mother this.
Please shut it off. That's not even funny.
Nick removed his thumb.
No, please. That wasn't even funny, man. That wasn't even
The only trick I know.
No, that wasn't even
good.
funny.
That's good stuff.
Appreciate that.
Chris didn't care. That was enough to set him off. So, does this situation ever get resolved, or is it just he's got to go to work and figure out what's wrong?
Yep.
So
it's the ongoing saga, which
Meanwhile,
never
people
went
are
on.
convulsing in the streets, and the cops are clubbing them down and dragging them off in paddy wagons.
Oh, that's all.
Turning off their body cams.
Yeah, exactly, right.
All based in on historical events, apparently. So
Yeah. All right, so there we have it. 1977's Moribund the Burgermeister. Did I get that right?
as far as I know,
Moribund? Yes, Moribund.
who knows?
So thanks again to Gavin for sending that in. Gavin will be getting an exclusive item mailed to him. Don't you want one? I think you do.
Yeah.
So you go to potofthunder.com, click that list. Your song submitted right now has as good of a chance being chosen as Gavin's song, which is from early 2019.
Yeah.
So January of 2019. So there you go.
Yeah, I had. I believe he sent that in not too long, maybe a few months, but not too long after I had recorded his podcast with him.
Oh.
And we talked a bit about Genesis and Peter Gabriel and stuff. And I think I talked about how much I liked this album.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Nick, you brought it to the show.
I did.
Sweet Surrender or Kick in the Crotch?
For me, a very sweet surrender.
Oh.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
Around, I'd say 2005-ish, I went on YouTube late one night and just out of random curiosity was like, I wonder what the Peter Gabriel era of Genesis looked and sounded like. Found a couple songs I really liked. Eventually led me to check out some of his solo stuff. Wasn't a huge fan of all of it, but this album in particular I really liked. Thought this song was great. I don't know what else to say.
Okay.
That's it. Just a big fan of this song, big fan of the album. Recommend it to people to check it out. There's some weird stuff, of course, but it's pretty accessible, and it has at least a 70s hard rock flavor to it.
Okay.
Not every aspect of it, but it has that flavor to it. More so than a lot of his other stuff, because then he would get, into like, I don't know,
like the electronic
world. Yeah, like a little bit new wavy, punky, electronic-y. I don't know, just a lot of different stuff going on. But this album in particular, I would say if you're like a 70s hard rock fan, this is probably going to be the most accessible.
Okay. And this one's called?
Car.
Okay.
Unofficially.
Chris?
A kick to the crotch with all of my power, age and weight behind it.
It's a humiliating kick in the crotch.
Yeah, I can't stand Peter Gabriel. I've never been able to stomach it, and this didn't help any.
No,
not at all.
Nothing redeeming to you.
Nothing. Prefer never to hear it again.
Well, you probably won't. Unless you
certainly not willingly.
Unless you take a long car ride.
I'm working
with
up
Nick.
a routine to it, actually.
A routine. Yeah, okay.
Get my lovely assistant.
But yeah, slipping in the intro to Salisbury Hill, that was a low blow. That was dirty pool.
Hey,
man.
you got to do what you got to do. There was a laugh on the horizon.
No, well,
it was my computer's fault. I didn't do it.
Okay.
Slow computer.
It's terrible. Really bad.
So, Andy, what's your...
I don't know. Let me think for a second. Because, All right. I'm going to kick it in the crotch, but I'll tell you why.
It's a humiliating kick in the crotch.
I almost wish there was a third vote, because I don't think it really... From listen one, my opinion of it, I don't think it deserves either. I think it's something else altogether, where it's more art than like, did you pull these qualities from this song that are, that move you emotionally or something, whatever we judge these things on, or like was the playing exciting, or... because I wouldn't say that the performances, at least, the instrumentals are especially exciting, but it's more like a musical than, like last week, Miwai's Magic. That's not the same. It's not the same thing. You know what I mean? Obviously. Yeah. But I mean, it's not even like, there's not even playing the same game is what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like they have completely different goals. It's like, let's write a song that, gives that pulls these emotions from people versus let's write a song that does this, and it's more of a themed thing. And there's a lot of visuals that go with it. It's like a musical to me. It's like it's a stage production.
In that regard, it's, I guess, Bob Ezrin doing The Elder kind of makes some sense because it is an explicit. The explicit cause is to tell some sort of story.
All right,
it's not an incidental thing that just sort of happens.
This is definitely in the wheelhouse of the Bowie tune we did a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
art rock.
I hear some of I was going to mention that. It's true. Yep. Some similarities in the delivery of the vocals.
Yeah, but it's just, Bowie's voice is perfectly fine to me, whereas Gabriel's, I just can't deal with it on any level.
It's funny how that happens with certain artists. You're just like, you're something primal. You're just unattracted.
Yeah.
Almost like you're like offended by their presence and by their delivery of whatever it is they do.
Yeah, I just Peter Gabriel just never got it. Never, and never will either. I don't care how much hopping around he does with African musicians. It's not going to help.
Old motherfucker in an African outfit
Yeah,
playing
that too.
guitar with him.
Yeah.
All right, well, but I liked the musical section during that I Will Find Out part a lot. It's weird and cool sounding, but I don't know. It's one of those things I feel like you have to fully submerge yourself into this album, and we did it for one song, but I mean, like, you have to prepare yourself mentally for what this is. This isn't like, 101.9 The Mix FM hitting you with a pop song with a big hook,
No,
they would go to track 2 if they were going to play something from the album.
Yeah.
That's the only song you ever hear from this album. So.
Is it the only one that's that, I don't want to say structured, that's the wrong word, but that, like...
Accessible.
More of like a big, like a big time pop accessible kind of a thing. Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. So he just threw one of those on there, and the rest is him being a freaking weirdo.
No, there's one called Modern Love. It's more of a rock song.
Okay.
It's as close to like a plain hard rock song as you would get, I would say.
Okay.
But you don't hear that one ever. I wouldn't be surprised if it would have caught on and become a rock radio staple, but it just didn't. So
it has all the elements.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Well, there it is, and there you have it. If you disagree, we're sorry.
That's just the fucking way it is.
Deal with it. So, we've got so much merch over here. We've got all these hats. You want a hat, go to potofthunder.com. Buy yourself a hat. Nick's got a nice new hat over there. Nick, what color did you choose?
Stone.
Nick went with the stone. Personally, I went with the navy. There's also a black. So there you go. Hats. We still have pins. We have a handful of pins left if you want. We're not talking like a little 1-inch button. These are
tanks.
Yes, they are.
Little tanks.
These are enamel pins on an autographed card with the Pot of Thunder logo. $10. All available on potofthunder.com. Yeah, what are you waiting for? God, stop waiting. I do that all the time, and I regret it all the time. Stop waiting. Just buy stuff. You'll be happy when you get it.
You can glue a magnet.
It is a quality piece.
It is.
You can
get around that.
Glue a magnet to the back and put it on your Westinghouse refrigerator.
Yeah. Make it less of a piece of shit. All right, so we got some questions here. Did you know that?
We do.
I was wondering if we were going to do them. Usually our merch pitch is at the end when people have already shut off the episode, which explains why we don't sell a lot of merch.
Well, Chris, the bean counters are telling me that hasn't been working.
That's right. They're telling you to move that up in the broadcast.
Yep. It's time.
Sing away.
Yes, Chief.
It's time for our Yardo questions. Brought to you by Mr. Baseball. Now on DVD.
We got a message from a listener.
Yeah.
Last
from Ryan Free.
Yeah, he said he acquired a copy. He's going to see what all the fuss is about.
Yeah. Tom Selleck owes us a nickel.
No idea what conclusion he came to, but maybe we'll find out.
All right, so I'm going to do something fun here today, guys.
Okay.
I'm going to name 2 names of listeners, and you're going to tell me which Yardo questions you want.
Okay. So it not necessarily has any bearing on who we like more, just who we think, whose questions we'd be more likely to want to answer right now. Is that what it is?
I get, yeah. Whatever you want to take into consideration.
Okay.
Maybe you do like one more than the other. I don't know. Maybe you don't. Maybe you like them equally and you're going to flip a coin.
Not doing that.
Yeah. All right, so we've got a set from Roderick Van Oven, our pal from the Netherlands. And we've got a set from Rob Paskey.
Paskey's a wild man. I'm sapped of energy after what I just went through. I'm going with the Netherlands guy. Nothing personal against Paskey, one of our favorite listeners, but Gabriel just broke my spirit. I don't have the energy to keep up with Paskey tonight.
All right.
I mean, is that the definitive vote? Or are we doing a
you good with
majority
that,
thing?
Yeah, Nick's good with it. All right, so Rob Paskey lives another day. We'll see you maybe next week. His Yardo questions will come up.
He gets a bye this round.
Yes, he does. This week we've got Roderick Van Oven, our buddy over there in the Netherlands, original home of the Van Halen brothers.
It's true.
Good point.
One of the smoothest individuals around.
Yes, he is. He's always dating these new women. Always dating women, this man. Roderick Van Oven.
During a pandemic, he's
new women all the time.
He's got new women every...
He's hot like an oven.
He is. I don't get it. He's the Rod of Thunder.
That's a good thing to be.
Yeah, it is. So he says, I'm eating a Nutella pancake with some strawberries in a motel right now. It's quite good, guys, with a smile.
He's eating it off some chick's ass.
Well, he is in a motel eating pancakes.
Well, not a hotel, a motel.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought about these questions since I'm in a good mood. Here we go. Question 1. How many states have you seen in total from America? For me, it's 8 because I'm from the Netherlands, so that's a lot.
Probably more.
More
than me.
I've also been to Spokane, Washington, Chris. Smiley face.
Yeah. Worst city I've ever been in. And I'm from Detroit, so it tells you something. I don't know. I did that thing on Facebook where how many states you visited or been to before. It's definitely in the 30s at least.
That's a lot.
Oh yeah. Well, farting around with a band and whatnot.
Yeah.
But a couple of the states I've never been to, like New Mexico is one, Oregon is one. All of the Northeast except for Connecticut. I've never been to any of those states.
Yeah.
And I've never been to Colorado. I've been to all the states around it. Never been to Colorado. But it's definitely in the 30s, if not higher than that, really.
Have you gone to Alaska or Hawaii?
No, neither one of those.
Nicolas?
I'm definitely the least traveled of the three of us here. I did a real quick estimation in my head. A dozen or so. Yeah, really not a whole lot. The only other country I've ever been to is Canada. Never been off the continent.
Go on.
I don't lead a very jet-setting sort of life. Don't mind.
Well, it's kind of a decision you have to make if that's what you want to do or not.
I don't really. I mean, there are places I would like to see at some point.
Yeah,
but I kind of don't care.
I'm the same way. Sorry to interrupt again, but I've only been to the NAFTA countries, USA, Canada, and Mexico. And I've been to Jamaica. It's a separate country. Caribbean nations. But I have no interest to go to Europe. I really don't. Because here's what I like to do on vacation. Sit on my ass and relax. You go to Europe, you kind of have to sightsee and travel around and do stuff.
Yeah.
That's not my idea of a vacation.
Yeah.
I'm doing stuff when I'm working and going about my daily business. I want to go somewhere where I don't have to do fucking anything. Ideally, somewhere in the tropics and, relax. That's my idea of a vacation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm with Nick on that. Same attitude.
All right. Question 2. Have you ever played a 7-string guitar, and do you think it's a gimmick?
I don't think I've ever played one. I think the whole nu metal thing makes it seem like a gimmick, whether that's what it was originally conceived and constructed for.
There's a low B on it? Is that what it is?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, George Epps, George Van Epps, maybe is his name. It was a jazz player. Okay. Was a jazz player back in the day who played a 7-string guitar for like jazz stuff. So Steve Vai came out with a 7-string Universe Ibanez guitar, and given Vai's style, the original concept of it was to have a high A string.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but it was like a 6-gauge string and would break, or
yeah.
I don't know what the thing is, but the guys in Korn bought those guitars and put the low B on instead, and they're the ones who started the whole 7-string phenomenon with that type of music.
Okay.
Because when I first worked at Guitar Center, early 90s, we started getting the 7 strings in. It was all like the shred stuff with the higher string. Mm-hmm. And then I left before that took off, but I remember we thought it was a gimmick at the time because it's like, you can't play this string; it's going to break every time. But then the guys in Korn sort of rethought it, and that it's not a gimmick. It's like saying hip hop and rap is a gimmick. Yeah, it's been the most popular music form overall for 35 years. It's not a trend anymore. It's not a fad. It's a thing. Same with 7-string guitars, to the point where guys are now playing 8-string guitars, 9-string guitars, for that heavier kind of music. So not a gimmick. It was originally, and the nu metal guys turned it into a thing that is sustained for close to 30 years now.
There you go. Have you ever seen those videos where it's like extreme weird custom guitars where it's like a 24-string guitar someone's doing a solo on? It's just bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's
Give
cool
me
for...
Give me the 3-string Presidents of the United States guitar over that. Whatever they did, I don't know.
That's all we needed.
Those guys invented their own instruments.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the tuning was or anything. Talk about a unique, weird, kind of cool band.
Yeah. I only knew 2 songs, I think.
Yeah,
but
they had like 3 hits.
Three
and
hits,
then they
right.
worked with Sir Mix-a-Lot.
They did? What did they do with Sir
I don't
Mix-a-Lot?
remember. They did something with them, though.
Okay. All right. I'll have to check that out. Maybe that'll be next week's song. All right. And question 3. Do family members ever listen to your show? Thank you, Rod of Thunder. From your motel, eating Nutella pancakes off of the bare ass of a random sexual conquest.
Oh, my goodness.
Again, some people just have different lives. We're talking about travel. Same thing. Travel, relationships. You just have to choose that that's your life and then go with it, if that's what you want to do. Fork in the road. Don't know which way to go.
What was the question?
Do family members listen? Well, yeah. I mean, short answer is yes. You know, I mean, your mom listens religiously to the point where she listens to the episodes multiple times.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Andy and my siblings listen.
Yeah, there's so much listening in there.
Yeah.
Everybody listens that I know.
I hope her dad listens.
I hope so.
Not related, but
yeah.
But short answer is yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been at it for a while. Eventually, they would just listen out of curiosity.
Yeah.
My wife used to listen. She's not related to me, of course, but she used to listen. She doesn't anymore. Not for any real reason, though.
Yeah.
It's just a thing where she did, and then she kind of found other podcasts that she listens to instead now.
She likes them better than yours.
She likes them better than
That's
mine.
fine.
Yeah, and I used to listen to our show religiously. I don't listen to it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have the time, and I don't have my current job is not one where I can like multitask in that way, unless it's really slow. But when things are cranking along, I've got to be able to concentrate.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Let's rephrase. What about like co-workers or other people in your orbit? Have you ever gotten any kind of weird responses from anybody, or no?
You got to be careful with co-workers,
Yeah.
because some of the stuff we talk about,
right?
Myself especially, is not for everyone. So I don't really publicize it at work. I mean, it comes out eventually with people I feel like I can trust, but
sure,
I don't self-promote at work.
Yeah.
The other thing is it's work. I'm not one to mix work with personal very often. It happens eventually, but who wants to be that guy who's constantly blowing his own horn about what he's doing outside of work? Nobody cares. It's like, can you help me out with what?
That's everybody.
Can you help me out with what I'm doing here at work? If not, I don't want to hear from you.
Yeah. I would wear my Pot of Thunder Christmas sweater to work all the time.
We
gotta promote, dog.
We were texting earlier that I thought it was all these years it was my decision not to socialize with coworkers. I think we came to the conclusion that it was what I ate for lunch.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
That's why people don't want to come talk to me.
Yep.
Yeah. As far as any of that, I know I've got a few friends who semi-regularly listen. I know I just saw our good buddy Jared last weekend. Mm-hmm. He told me he's probably the first person to listen every single episode because he's up at the hour that it's released.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's one of those right-away listeners. That's cool.
Yeah, he said he's probably the first one every single week. So
very cool. Okay.
Yeah, and just friends, I mean, you think a lot of people, I don't know how religiously they listen, but like just today, a guy who is a friend of the bass player in the Mean Reds and was, hung around with us, and, I knew him almost 30 years ago now. He posted something about the David Crosby comment about EVH, and then I responded. I go, this is what a listener of my podcast had to say, and I posted that comment that we talked about earlier. Uh-huh. He's like, you have a podcast? And I told him, he's like, I'm subscribing. So
all right, here we
just
go.
Today, a new friend has jumped on board.
Well,
how many episodes he'll listen to, who knows? But
it's a little overwhelming, perhaps, to see. What are we at now?
Well, 384.
384.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. We've been at it almost 8 years now, which is nuts.
It is nuts.
But, yeah, I mean, people are still... again, maybe that's explains a lot of things, but I don't publicize on my personal social media about the show. I don't shove it down people's throats. I mean, if it makes sense, I make people aware of it. And if they want to listen to it, great. If not, that's fine too. But I think I've got a lot of friends who listen to it.
Yeah,
I've got one I mean, aside from my cousins, I guess, but I've got one blood relative left, my brother, and I don't think he's even aware that I do it. It would be pointless for me to mention it to him because he was never into music or anything, and we simply don't have a lot in common. So, what would be the point of it?
Right.
So I don't even bother.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a boss at one point who was like, he found out about it from someone else talking about it. He's like, I'm going to listen to it. I've been meaning to listen to it. I'm like, dude, I don't care. Don't. And I don't care if you do. Don't tell me. Don't talk to me about this.
It's, yeah.
I don't. And I'm not going to notice if you listen. Not to be a jerk, but I need my boss to help me out and listen. Great. Thank you.
Exactly. And that's the other thing.
And you have to talk about it.
Right. I mean...
Hey, the foot's asshole, right?
Yeah.
I don't need that at work.
Exactly. And again, it's like, we all know the drill. You get your friends and family stoked about what you're doing creatively or whatever, but what's really an accomplishment is when you get a bunch of listeners who you've never met before, which we were fortunate enough to have that on this show. Mm-hmm. And that's really what it's all about, is just to resonate with people who you never knew before. And that's really, those are the listeners that we truly value, because that they have no vested interest in us other than they're entertained by us, and that's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
And I guess to kind of bring it full circle, I've met a lot of people who I consider really good friends who I've never met who are on other continents, but I consider them very good friends now.
Because of this.
Because of it, yeah.
We've got ourselves a nice little community.
We do.
Yeah.
Sounds corny to say that, but it's true.
Yeah.
It is true, and we get a lot of engagement and conversations going on Facebook especially. We don't have a huge amount of followers on there, but people are engaged, and it makes it worth it. That's why we continue to show up here every week and put this stuff out to the public.
We've got all the right followers.
I think so.
All the other ones we don't need.
Right.
There are a few out there who are still forthcoming.
Yeah.
Who are going to be good additions, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
right now, it's nice.
I mean, would we prefer to be the second coming of Joe Rogan? Sure, why not?
Take that money.
Exactly. Take that money and do it for a living. But in lieu of that, what we've got going on is satisfying to the point where we continue to do it. It's that simple.
All right, Rod of Thunder, thank you so much. If you want to send your Yard of questions, again, potofthunder.com. It's got everything. It's got all that stuff. Listener submission, song list. Stuff. Tons of stuff. You can buy stuff. So many cool shirts. Buy that Halloween shirt, wear it year-round. Tommy Lombardozzi art.
That's right, yeah. Thank you, Tommy.
Yeah. All right. You know what? If you don't want to buy something, don't. Just be clear about that, too. I just want people to be aware that it exists in case you want to buy it.
Well,
I'm not trying to guilt trip anyone into buying it.
I want them to give us a good reason why they're not buying something.
I'm going to call each and every one of you.
Explain yourselves.
Yeah. I'm sick of playing softball with you people.
Explain yourselves.
Right. No, I don't. We don't care if you want something. We're
it's available.
Thrilled. It's available, and we're thrilled that you would wear it or display it or whatever you do with it. But if you don't.
But again, if we didn't want to sell stuff, we wouldn't make it available.
Yeah.
Why would we waste our time?
No.
Of course we want to sell it.
We want to sell it.
And hopefully it's stuff that you think is cool and you want to purchase it. But if you don't, that's fine too.
There you go.
It's all a matter of choice.
Do whatever you want.
Exactly.
Yeah. Go take a shit.
Yes. Do it.
And oh boy.
You guys ever have an experience where you are in a clutch moment? Have somebody there that's like your wheelman, and the guy just turns out to be a total fucking douclard. A total waste skinner. That was my guitar tech tonight, and I fired his ass, and I apologize to the people here in Brisbane. But we'll make it up to you sometime. I mean, maybe it'll be in Hawaii when we glue out this fat pig's ass. But I'll tell you what, you guys deserve way better than this jerk off did tonight. I'm sorry.
So all you fans in Brisbane, next time we're in Hawaii, we'll make the show up to you.